Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about Sleepless in Seattle. This is about a little boy and his dad. His mother unfortunately has passed away, and he rings into a radio show by Dr. Fieldstone. So she's a therapist and she gives advice about relationships, and this little boy, within the range of I think 6 or 7 years of age, rings in and talks to her, and this is being aired on the radio. So it seems that this particular radio channel has a lot of female audience because a lot of women hear this conversation. He's on the radio with her, and he says that my dad needs a new wife, and she said, what's wrong with the wife he has already? And he says, well, she's passed away. So everyone feels really sorry for this little boy. And now what happens is that Sam, who's Tom Hanks here, picks up the phone because the therapist on the radio wants to talk to Jonah's dad, called Sam. So the little boy is called Jonah, like Jonathan, and his dad is Sam. He didn't know that his little boy was calling someone on the radio, and he also didn't know that it was live. But then he raves about his wife who passed away, of how it was like coming home. He says, the first day I met my wife, and he just goes on telling about all the good things that they shared together and the fond memories of his wife. Now, so that's him. He's trying to find a wife for his dad, which is okay. Now, a lot of women listen to this conversation because it's, of course, aired on the radio, and they write in. So he receives within the order of 200,000 letters from American women nationwide who are potentially interested in this man and his child. Now, our female protagonist is Annie. And the backstory to her is that she is engaged to marry a guy called Walter. Now, Walter seems to be a nice enough guy, but somehow she has the feeling, at least maybe the audience has the feeling, that he is not right for Annie. Now, they live together and they're going to get married soon. And she... is relatively happy with her situation, and she really likes Walter. But the movie has a subtle way of demeaning this man. So first of all, he's hyperallergenic, he's sneezing all the time, he's allergic to everything, literally. So now she hears the radio show, of course, and the conversation between Dr. Fieldstone and little Jonah and his dad, Sam. And that puts her into more thought, and she's really mesmerized by the way he describes his deceased wife. And perhaps she compares it with what she has now. Now, Walter is a nice enough person, but there isn't that spark, unfortunately. Now, this was her here listening to the conversation on the radio, and yes, she's just taken aback by how much love he professes for his deceased wife, and that just captures her heart. Now, this is the friend, and they talk about it the next day at work, and the men are just like, just give us a break. We don't want to hear about this girly talk. This is Sam and Jonah and a family friend, and they receive a large number of letters of interest from various women, and that Sam is not very happy about this because he thinks it could be any crazy person across the nation who's interested in him, and all they heard was really his voice and no picture, because of course it was broadcasted on the radio. Now, little Jonah makes it his business to go through all these letters. Some of them don't sound very enticing, but he's sieving through all these letters, possibly being able to maybe one day find the right person for his dad. So quite a big responsibility. And Annie with her friend just going on about this talk show on the radio of how amazing it was. Not that Sam doesn't want to date anymore. He does want to date, but he's been off the dating market for such a long time now. 10, 15 years, when he got married to his wife, of course, and he has no experience. And someone said to him, "What is tiramisu?" And he had no idea, because of course he hasn't been out on dates to order things like that. And of course he was comfortable in the relationship he had, and there was no need to seek anything else. Now, a lot of reference is made to a movie that is about two lovers who were meant to meet at Empire State Building. It's one of those chick flicks, and a lot of reference is made to this movie. The idea is that two lovers were meant to meet at the top of the Empire State Building, and then something happens and it doesn't take place, which is okay. Now, this is Annie, of course, and Walter. He's a nice enough man, but all the time we're getting this impression from her and different things that happen, that she's not ultimately 100% happy with her relationship. Now, Sam is getting advice from all his friends, and he needs all the help he can get. So he's not really opposed to meeting someone, but he doesn't like what Jonah did, to ring into a radio show and try to beg for someone to contact him. It sounds very desperate. Annie works in computers, so she knows how to search for different things. And if you see the computers from that time, they didn't really have a graphical interface. It wasn't like a Windows or a Safari that you'd open now and you could search the internet. You had to put a command in. And she did note the name of Jono and also Sam and their surname, and she knew that they were in Seattle. The reason that she knew that they were in Seattle was that Dr. Fieldstone did call Sam Sleepless in Seattle. He was based in Seattle. So she was able to, with some detective work, to find the address of this man. And now, what does she want to do? Now, she wants to get on a plane to go and visit this family. So just think about what she's doing. She is engaged to someone to get married very soon, and she hears a desperate call for a partner on the radio channel, and she looks up his address and finds him, which is definitely very creepy. So she stalks him online, and she wants to get a flight across the country to Seattle to find him. I don't know what you would say. I traveled, 6 hours by plane to find you. Now, again, little Jono is going through all these letters, so piles and piles of letters that come in, and he tries to filter out the good ones. So indeed, it seems that Annie's friend did put a little note in the post on her behalf. And it's one of those things that Jono does really like, and he actually clicks with this Annie, on paper at least, and he tries to locate her on the map. He says that she's somewhere within the New York region, and they're in Seattle, so you couldn't get any further than that. And the dad points out how ridiculous this idea is, to date someone who you've never met before. So you want to meet with this person. It's just not a very good ceremony. He's showing all the different states that are in between Seattle and New York. Now, again, we get all these little hints about how incompatible Walter and Annie are. He's always sneezing, he has allergies, it pisses her off. She does get on the aeroplane, and very randomly, that's her. That's her coming off the aeroplane. She's trying to find Sam and Jono. But quite accidentally, Sam is at the airport at the same time to pick up someone. and he does see Annie. He had the address of Jono and Sam, and she goes by the house. And she does see them, but then just out of the blue, one of Sam's friends, is a female friend, she gives Sam a hug. And then that's exactly the time Annie sees them. So she thinks, oh, okay, it hasn't worked. Like he has met someone, and why am I so crazy? Why have I done this to myself? Why have I flown across the country to meet someone who I don't know at all? I've just seen him now, but he's with someone, and of course he's with someone. I already have a fiance. Why am I doing this? Now he does write a letter unknown to his dad to Annie, and he sets the date of, we're going to meet you at the Empire State Building on Valentine's Day. Now, these are the family friends of Sam and Jono, so this guy here, and also his wife. So this is the wife I was telling you about, who just happened to be there and give Sam a hug. That's misinterpreted by Annie. She thought that he has a girlfriend already, so that puts her off when she goes back home. Now, I did also say that Sam wasn't that opposed to meeting someone. He does go on a date with a woman, but she's nice enough, but she has quite an unusual laugh. Most importantly, though, Jono doesn't like her. So they go on a date, and you can see from his body language that he doesn't like her and doesn't want this to go forward. Now, on Valentine's Day, she is with Walter at a very expensive restaurant facing the Empire State, but always at the back of her mind she has this, that she's meant to meet with Jono and Sam at the top of the Empire State Building. But of course she's on a date with someone else. Now, Walter is such an understanding man, because he says, you're not 100% here. I can feel it that you're not paying 100% attention to me. And she tells him that, yes, this is not working for me. And she returns the ring to him. It is devastating for him, but also he said, I don't want someone who's just going to settle for me. I need better than that. Now, little Jono has gotten the airplane on his own and flown all the way from Seattle to New York. Isn't that Jono was able to fly? He had a friend who's quite intelligent, and she makes a booking on the internet, but says, this Jono is 13, but he looks 7 or 8, but don't say anything to him because it hurts his feeling. So by that trick, he was able to get on the plane. You can't go unattended if you're under a certain age, but with that trick, they were able to send him over. He frantically follows him on the next flight to New York, but he's quite delighted and relieved to find him there. Now, at the same time, we have Annie, who left Walter, and she's trying to make this date. Now, the building is closed, but she begs the attendant there to let her go up. Now, at the same time, these two are coming down. Yeah, there's two lifts. One is going up, the other one is going down. And of course, she comes up the other lift and realizes that no one is there, and that's very disappointing to her. Of course, she just spends a few minutes there to think about her life choices. That she had a definite engagement and marriage prospect, and she left that for, what could it be, maybe a prank by a 5 or 6 year old child. However, little Jono and Sam had left their bag at the top of the Empire State Building, so they come back for it, and guess what happens? They meet, and it is love at first sight. So little Jono was right all along. He likes her, the dad likes her, and Annie likes them. And guess what? They leave together.